Hi there, everybody. I am Sapna Mahadevan, your host for today's evening, and I am back again live with another exciting episode of Mastering the Art of Story Writing. So, what is it that we are going to discuss today? Today, let me tell you, I'm going to give you expert tips and tricks on how you can be writing your very own effective and impactful courtroom drama. So, yes, courtroom drama it is for today. So now let me move on ahead and let you all know of what are the different segments that we have planned out for this show of ours today. Yes. So as always, I would request all of you to be an interactive audience. And it really makes me feel special when I get all those comments, the emojis and the thumbs ups. Yes, it really boosts me. So do keep on sending your responses as always, and I love to see them. So on that note, let me move ahead and take you to what's happening, right? So this is the topic that we are discussing today. And what is it that we are going to do? Right. So the first segment is the fun segment, which is Break the Ice. And to all my new viewers, let me tell you that this is a segment which I love the most because I get some amusing answers from you to all the interesting questions that I pose. Yes. So keep those comments coming in today as well. And after the Break the Ice, we will be discussing the theme of the day, of course, and also the essentials in a courtroom drama. And then there is another fun segment, which is Share Your Story. After that, there'll be courtroom drama, story plot writing. And then, of course, how can we miss out on all the fun? There are going to be some fun activities today as well. And then we will be discussing editing a courtroom drama story, followed by the recap from today's session. And then there will be a small exercise for all of you who are watching me today. Yes. So that's the format that we follow. And let me check, there are already comments coming up. So Sushma telling me here that it's a super program. Thank you so much for that comment there, Sushma. As I always tell you, it really boosts me to keep going with all these episodes and the content that we bring out to you on a daily basis. Yes. So thanks again. And now let's get going to the fun segment, which is Break the Ice. So are you all eager to know which is the first question that I'm going to pose out to you? Tell me, give me some emojis maybe, and then I can start on. Give me a signal that you're all here with me. Great, great. Thanks for those responses and those smileys pouring in. Lovely. So the first question, without wasting much more time, is how many books did you read this summer? Tell me. How many books did you read recently maybe? Give me an idea. Okay, 2 it says. Lovely. Maybe you can also mention the books that you have read. Okay, for starts, let me tell you, during this pandemic time when we didn't have much to do, I am a voracious reader and I have read many books, but of course, I couldn't get a hand on the newest releases that are there. But then I have a couple of books at home. So one that I revisited was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Yes, that was a fun read, and I could read it back again, and it revived some memories. Let me tell you, it is a book on the author telling us what are those things that rich dads tell their children, but the poor and the middle class don't. So it's a fun read, and it doesn't have. Let me tell you, it doesn't have much of the financial jargon, but it is put very simply, and it makes for a fun read. Yes, so that was one, and then I read out one of the famous five by Enid Blyton to my son. That was one that I could remember from the top of my head. Yeah, and any other books that you would have read, let me know. Okay, The Inscrutable Americans by Anurag Mathur. I have read that book. Thank you for that comment there. Yes, it's an hilarious read. Okay, some Sydney Sheldon's coming up here. Lovely. Thanks for those responses there. So I know there are some people here who are voracious readers like me, isn't it? Great to know that. And yeah, whoever is watching me, let me again reiterate that reading is a very good habit. You should cultivate this habit of reading, and it really helps you in all new words and even in fluency in the English language. Yes. So reading, I give a big thumbs up to that. So if you are already not a very good reader, then please do uh, start reading. Yes. Okay. So smileys coming in up that for that thought there. Great. Lovely. Thanks for those responses there. Let's get moving to the next question, which is, what's your favorite part about school? Tell me all about school. What is the favorite part? I know we had this question some time back, and many of my viewers here had sad emojis come in. I know many of us are not able to go to school right now, but it's okay. Everything's going to get better sooner, yes? So, what's the favorite part about school? Okay, I can see some comments coming up here. Sharing lunch, of course, yes, that's the favorite part. Sharing lunch with your friends, yes. Okay, great. And let me tell you, it's always someone else brings something, and we always like that better, isn't it? That's how it. Yes, smileys coming up at that thought. So I know it is always like that. And what is the other things that are favorite about school? Tell me. Tell me what you feel about this. Okay, another comment coming up there. Meeting friends, yes. Meeting friends is always the best part about school, isn't it? I know we are all missing doing that these days, but it's okay. It's going to be better sooner, as I keep telling. Bunking lectures, okay. That's bad. Who is bunking lectures here? Okay. And then meeting friends again. Great. So thanks for those responses. I can see friends are our lifelines. It is taking up majority of my comment box here. So great. Lovely to know. Sharing lunches and meeting up friends. That's the majority answer here. Okay. So good going. Let us now move on to the next question for the day, which is, what's your favorite quote and why? Think about all those quotes that you would have heard and something that you live by, maybe. What's the favorite quote? Okay, let me start again with this, and let me tell you which is my favorite quote. Okay, so I have read one of these quotes which says, when you reach the end of the rope, tie a knot and hang on. So isn't that a profound quote, yes, to live by? So yeah, it's all of positivity and hope, and why I love this quote very much. Yes. Okay, so some popular quotes coming up there. What does it say? It's a beautiful day to go after your dreams. Lovely. That's a good one. It's a beautiful day to go after your dreams. Great. I like that one. Okay, and the other popular one, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Great. Even that's a good one, isn't it? Okay, so all these quotes about hope and positivity, yes, motivating us, right? Great. So thanks for all those smileys and those thumbs ups coming up here at the moment. I'm really, really loving this interaction with all of you people here. Okay, great. So let's get going to the next question now, which is, if you were to write a book, what would it be about? Tell me, think about this. Put on your thinking caps and let me know, if you are writing a book, then what would it be about? Maybe a genre or any other idea that you have that you're going to write your book about. Okay, so Sarah here says she's going to write an autobiography. Great. That's lovely to know, Sarah. Okay, so maybe you can even tell me what you're going to name that autobiography of yours. Yes. Okay, and then I can see books on animals. Okay, Varun telling me that he would like to write a books on animal. Lovely thought there, because I'm a big animal fan. Yeah, I love all pets. So yes, that would be great to see what you pen down there. And okay, science fiction as well. Lovely. So all new age children here, right? Science fiction, animal books, autobiography. Great, a book on friends. Lovely. That's going to be an emotional drama, isn't it? Okay, thanks for those responses there. And I'm really loving this, that you're pouring out all your smileys and thumbs ups and other emojis in my comment box here. So great going. Thanks a lot for that again. And let's now now move to the next question, which is the last question for the day, and it is, if you could live in any country, where would you live? Okay, so that's the question that's out here. Which is the country you would want to live in? USA. Okay, great. Lovely option. Greece, Australia, there, New Zealand. Okay, I can totally get that. The pictures, scenes that are coming to my mind right now. Lovely responses there again today. India. Okay, great. Thanks for all those responses again. Let me tell you, it is always fun to have an interactive audience and to be able to interact and converse with you all wonderful people. Yes. So keep doing that and stay tuned and listen out to me on how we can be writing an impactful courtroom drama. So that's the topic for today. And let's move ahead and discuss the theme for the day, right? So as I already told you, it's going to be a courtroom drama, and I'm sure it's going to be thrilling, and you're going to love this, yes? So let me tell you, it is a genre of crime story that depicts a trial in the courtroom to discuss the verdict of a crime, right? So let me ask you, have you ever seen a courtroom maybe? Okay, so another comment coming up there a little late. Gurugram, it says. Okay, so I think the country that we asked you about. So yes, thanks for that comment again. And let me get going to the theme of the day now. Right. So the question that I was asking you was, have you seen a courtroom? When I think about a courtroom, the picture that comes to my mind is of a bright, white-walled, windowless room, high-ceilinged, and to a large extent somber. And two witness boxes on either side, one for the plaintiff, one for the defendant. And at the middle, there is this mighty judge of ours with his gavel, right? So that is the scene that plays out to me when I think of a courtroom. So now that I have given you a visualization of how a courtroom looks, let me take you further ahead and tell you some expert tips and tricks on how you can write your own story plot on this genre. Yes. If you're interested with this topic, do watch me and stay tuned in, right? Lovely. And I would love some emojis as well appear on my screen in between. It would really help. Great, great. Thanks for those emojis there and those smileys and the heart emojis. I really love them. Okay, so let's get going and check out what are the essentials that you need to have in your courtroom drama story. So that is what we are going to discuss next. And the first pointer that comes up here is the lawyer, right? So the story should have a lawyer as a protagonist because he's the person who's going to take the defendant, maybe, I don't know what's going to happen next, but then he's the person who's going to play around and let you know what's all the things that your story plot will contain, right? So the lawyer is the main characteristic there. And then the second characteristic that we would have is, of course, the accused. So the story needs an accused who is also going to be the defendant in a trial case, right? So the person whom the lawyer is going to defend, right? He is the person who has done some sort of a crime, and the lawyer would be defending him for his crime, right? So the two persons or the characteristics that we saw, which are essential in a courtroom drama story, first is the lawyer and second is the accused. Now the third characteristic that comes up is the judge. So the judge has the power of turning the verdict on whose favor he's turning the verdict on, right? And he needs the trial to be monitored by a judge who has the decision-making authority. So these are the three main characteristics in our courtroom drama, right? So now, if we look at the storyline pointers, then what we are seeing here is that Harvey was a criminal lawyer, and I'm sorry for that. And Dan was accused of murdering his wife, right? So the main protagonist here is the criminal lawyer, who is Harvey, and Dan is the one who's accused of murdering his wife. And then the third pointer that we see here is the judge, who is in my story plot here. and he has been appointed to preside over the trial, right? So these were the three characteristics, the essentials when you're writing your own courtroom drama, right? So let me summarize that for you again. The first one is the lawyer, which in this case is Harvey, and the second one is the accused, which here is Dan for murdering his wife. And then the third main characteristic is the judge, and here we see that his name is Davis, right? Okay. So now that we have seen all the essentials there that are supposed to be there in our um, courtroom drama, let's get moving to the next segment, which is another fun segment, which is share a story. Okay. So what do we have here in the share a story segment? Right. So viewers, you can comment on the comment in the comment box and let me know if you have maybe seen a movie regarding this concept, or if you have read a book maybe, or even if you have seen a courtroom in person. Give me a thumbs up there so that I know. Yes. Any movies that you've seen? Okay. So a comment coming up here which says the film. So yes, there is a book which even I have read, and this one is written by John Grisham. And let me tell you, dear viewers, John Grisham has written a lot of books on this courtroom drama genre, and he has a way of weaving magic through his words. Yes, so it's always a page turner when we read a John Grisham. And the firm, I even remember there is this book of his was even made into a movie, and it featured Tom Cruise, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So yeah, thanks for that comment there. And let me tell you, I have read most of John Grisham's work regarding the courtroom drama genre. And one that comes to my mind right now is The King of Torts. Yes. And this book was a bestseller, and it also featured on the number one spot in New York Times bestseller list. And this man was around a young and ambitious lawyer. Let me give you a gist of what this book entailed. Yes. So it was about a young and ambitious lawyer. And although he started out with good intentions, but later on he lured with fame and wealth. So Clay Carter is the protagonist in this book, and he works as a litigator in the office of the public defender. And his job is quite tiresome, and he's really tired because there are not much growth prospects in his job. And he's always looking out for new, and he's always exploring for newer, greener pastures. So, meanwhile, one day he's called upon to defend a case for a man named Tequila, and this was a case regarding routine drug-related murder case. So now we see that when he digs deeper into this case, he gets to know that there is a big malpractice that's happening from the pharmaceutical company's end. So this huge pharmaceutical company, it was actually using people to test their drugs or medicines without the people's knowledge. And when Clay Carter comes to know about this, he tries to, publish this to the world. And then later on, when the novel progresses ahead, we see how some of the top-notch officials from this pharmaceutical company, they try to settle the case out of court. And Clay here is a young ambitious, but he's a principled one at that. And but finally, he gets lured into the huge chunk of money that is involved in this out of court settlement. And as the story progresses, we see that how he finally becomes the king of torts, and he starts living a lifestyle of luxury. So that's the story. That is the plot of the story, and it definitely is a page turner. And Daily Mail, let me tell you, Daily Mail has reviewed this book of John Grisham as page turningly compulsive. Yes, so that was a very good read, and there are many of such John Grisham's work revolving around the courtroom drama. Yes, so whenever you read a courtroom drama, it's always about the thrill, right? and it's always about the language that they use, the diction that is all throughout. That's why I always say that a courtroom drama is always, it always weaves magic with words. Yes. So that is one book that comes to my mind, and I can see a lot of thumbs ups coming there. So yes, thanks for that. And let's now move on to the next segment that we have planned out here, which is a courtroom drama story plot writing. Yes. So what are the all the things that you can think of or you can come up with while you're writing your own story plot around this courtroom drama? Yes. So you can introduce the lawyer as the protagonist and decide which side the lawyer is defending. So of course there are going to be two sides to it, right? One will be the right side and one will be the wrong. So it depends whose side the lawyer is uh, defending on, and you can describe the legal aspects of the case in greater detail. Like in this book that I discussed, it was a pharmaceutical company which was the main plot here. So you could bring up some other details about what you want to keep as your main story plot, and then make your lawyer the protagonist, and then take your book and build it up from there, right? And objectively depict the accused and the crime as well. You can always add unexpected twist into your story plot, which will keep it so much so exciting, and then finish the story with an impact. Yes. So the courtroom drama is always going to finish with an impact, right? So these were some of the pointers that we saw you could be keeping in your story plot for the courtroom drama, right? Now, let me bring out the storyline pointers. Like we discussed, Harvey was the one who was fighting the case against Dan, the accused, right? And what happened next was the accused, who is Dan in this case, he claims to be innocent. So he says that he is not the one who murdered his wife, right? So now Harvey is fighting the case, and you can put all the facts about and prove whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent. And all throughout the plot you can build in suspense and drama by inciting a lot of new evidence, maybe at times that come up, right? So the readers, they are not sure whether Dan is really innocent or is he guilty, right? So those are all the twists and turns that you could be including in your story plot, and keep it exciting. Yes. Okay. So these were some of the storyline pointers that we brought about while writing your own story plot on this particular genre, which is thrilling courtroom drama, right? Okay. Now let's get going to the next fun segment that we have here, which is, okay, there it is. So it is the fun activity alert, and I have brought a match the actor to you this time. And let us just quickly see who are the actors and what are the movies that we have displayed here, right? Okay, let me read that out to you. I hope you would have some answers here, and let me know of all the answers that you know in the comment box. Yes? Okay, thumbs ups to that. Lovely. So now the movies, we have The Devil's Advocate, Jolly LLB 2, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Oh My God, and A Few Good Men. Yes, how can we forget? That was another impactful movie. Yes. Okay, and the actors this side: Jeremy Strong, Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, Akshay Kumar, and Paresh Rawal. So we see two of our Bollywood movies as well here, and two of our Bollywood actors. So now everything is jumbled up. What you need to do is tell me which movie goes with which actor. Yes. So are we getting some answers there? Okay, so the first one that comes up here is A Few Good Men for Tom Cruise. Lovely. So we all know that movie, right? That's a popular one. Great. Any other answers for me here? Smileys at that thought. Thanks for that. Keep it coming. Okay, so I see Jolly LLB 2 matching up with Akshay Kumar. Okay, great. So we all know our movies, right? Great to know that. Again, A Few Good Men. That's what is coming up here again and again. A Few Good Men going up with Tom Cruise. Lovely. Oh my God. Oh my God is matching up with Paresh Rawal. Okay. So I know all the famous movies out there. The Trial of the Chicago 7 going out with Jeremy Strong. Lovely. Thanks for those comments there. Outpour of smileys as well at the moment. I am really, really loving this. Thanks for all those smileys as well. Okay, so those were the answers that we saw from all of you here. And my wonderful audience is always interactive and responsive, isn't it? Great. I am totally loving this. Okay, so those were all the answers that we had. And let me tell you the correct sequence and let me reveal the answers out to you. Okay, so right, The Devil's Advocate is, it featured Keanu Reeves. Jolly LLB 2 matches up with Akshay Kumar. The Trial of the Chicago 7 goes with Jeremy Strong. Oh My God with Paresh Rawal. And how could it ever go wrong? A Few Good Men for Tom Cruise. Lovely. Okay, great. Thumbs ups coming up there. Thanks a lot for all the love that you're showing me. Let me now move on. Okay, so I have already discussed the answers with you. So now let me move on ahead to the next part, which is editing of a great courtroom drama story. So we already saw the three main characteristics, which let me summarize it out again for you. One was the lawyer, then the second main characteristic was the accused, and the third, of course, was the judge, who has the power in his hands, right? And then we saw how you can build up on your story plot. And then now the third aspect that we are looking out here is how you can edit your great courtroom drama story. Yes. So it's all about finding your unique mix. And how you can start doing that is, the first thing that comes up here is elaborate the characters, right? So you need to introduce the lawyer as he is the protagonist. So you will have to talk about his background and then describe the accused and the crime that he has committed, right? There could be details about what the crime was all about. And then establish the establish the authority of the judge, right? So those were the things that you would be requiring to do when you're writing your own story plot. And how you can edit that in a best way possible is elaborate the characters, right? So introduce the lawyer, describe the accused and the crime, and then establish the authority of the judge, right? So this was the first pointer that came out here. And now the second thing that we are seeing here is demonstrate the trial. Yes, so that is going to keep the interest of your readers, right? So you need to put in the facts about the case, show what's at stake for the accused, and add a turning point in your story, right? So the trial is what is going to keep your readers glued, isn't it, to your story plot. So you need to give details about the trial and use good diction when it comes to the trial, because as you would have seen in movies as well, there's some impactful dialogue that happens between the lawyers and the different lawyers for the different sides, and also the judges, right? So your courtroom drama is going to be impactful if you use the correct diction, right? And then the third thing that we are seeing here is present the final verdict. Yes, so your readers are turning the page fervently to know what is it going to happen next, right? What is the final verdict? So you lay down everything about the case so far, give the final verdict, and leave an impact on the protagonist, right? So these are the things that we saw on how you can edit the great courtroom drama story, isn't it? So let me again summarize that for you, which is so that you know it sticks on better. The first thing is elaborate the characters. So you introduce the lawyer and describe the accused as well as the crime that he has committed, and establish the authority of the judge. Then the second thing that you would be doing is demonstrate the trial itself. So keep an impactful language. The tone should be very, very effective, and put in facts about the case. You could even give a background of the crime and how it happened. You could even state upfront whether the person who is the accused, whether he's guilty or not. You can give your own perspective to it, and add a turning point every now and then, right? So that keeps the readers very interested in your story plot, right? And then present the final verdict. Lay down everything about the case so far, give the verdict, and keep it impactful at the end, right? So these are all the pointers that we saw that you would be keeping in mind for editing a great courtroom drama, right? So now let's get going and check out all the storyline pointers, right? So if you remember, Harvey was our criminal lawyer, and the accused was Dan, who was the accused was he had committed this crime of murdering his wife. So that was his crime. And now we see that Harvey was determined to win the case against Dan, who looked scared. Okay, so some traits there, some physical attributes that we could be talking about. And then we see that Dan was accused of a murder in a fit of rage, and he would suffer life imprisonment if found guilty. So that is what is at stake here, right, for Dan. So this is the background that you would be building up about the crime, about the accused, and what is at stake for him, right? Then the third thing that comes up here is, before the judge gave his decision, new evidence is cropping up, and that proves Dan's innocence as well. Okay, so that is the twist that I'm talking about, which will keep your readers enthralled throughout. Yes, so these are some of the twists that you could be giving to your plot while writing or editing a great courtroom drama. Yes, so we saw how Harvey was determined to win the case against Dan, and we gave a physical attribute to Dan, that he seems to be a little bit frightened and scared. And Dan, who is accused of murdering his wife in a fit of rage, he tries to prove his innocence as well, right? And what is at stake? He is going to suffer life imprisonment if found guilty. And then, before the judge could give his decision, there are new evidences coming up which prove Dan's innocence, right? So these are all the twists and turns that you could be discussing in your story plot. And then we see that finally what happens is that the verdict was in favor of Dan, and the criminal lawyer, he loses the case, right? So Dan was actually found to be, or proved to be, innocent, right? So that was the verdict that we could be giving at the end. And let me tell you, my young viewers who are watching me at the moment, it's always your skill and your own perspective that you bring to your story plot, isn't it? So it all these are just examples that we are bringing out here to you, but you can always build up your story from all these pointers here. And it's going to be fun, right? It's going to be thrill writing a courtroom drama, isn't it? Yes, smileys at that thought there. So yes, it's going to be thrilling, and it is a particularly thrilling genre to write. And your readers there are really going to turn the page and wanting to know and be curious about what you're done for the final verdict, isn't it? Yes. So yeah, so try your hand at writing a book on this particular genre. Yes. So the next segment that comes out here is the exercise. And as always, I urge all my dear viewers here to write a story plot on this genre of courtroom drama, right? Okay, so what you can be doing is you can choose your characters and use all the insights and all the tips and learnings that we have discussed in today's episode, and then try writing your own courtroom drama. Okay, so let me see if my viewers here are really with me, listening intently. Okay, so tell me, there is something that I have found out which is not correct on my slide here. Can someone point that out to me? So yes, a fun exercise here. There's something wrong here. What is that? Just like we used to play all these worksheets which had what's wrong in the picture, right? So similarly, I'm asking you, what's wrong in my slide here? Tell me. Okay, so someone has pointed that out to me. I'm so sorry for that error there. It should not have been observational comedy. The plot that we are discussing today is courtroom drama. Yes, so how can we forget? So yes, courtroom drama. So choose your characters and use all the insights that you have from today's session and write an impactful courtroom drama. Yes, and thanks for pointing that out. Great. So the tip here is, take inspiration from the classic courtroom dramas, like one of them is A Few Good Men. Yes. Okay, so great. So that was what we had for the exercise. And I really hope that all of my young audience here is going to try their hand at writing one, isn't it? If you're going to do that, then give me a thumbs up. Give me a dancing thumbs up, maybe. Yes. Are you going to try your hand at writing a courtroom drama? Okay, so emoji is coming up there. So I know you're all going to try your hand, right? Lovely. Great, great going. Okay, so now let's get going to the next segment, which is I'll be giving you a quick recap on all that we have seen today. Yes. So the main elements were a lawyer, an accused, and a judge who has the authority, right? And then we saw how we can be, introducing the lawyer as the protagonist in our story plot here and decide which side the lawyer is defending. We can talk about the crime, uh, the also about the accused, what is it which is at stake for him, and describe the legal aspects of the case as well, objectively depict the accused and the crime, and also throw in some unexpected twists and turns all throughout our book there or our story there, and finish the story with an impact, right? Yes. So these were the things that we discussed on writing a story plot for the courtroom drama genre. And you can always edit your story by elaborating on the characters, giving them some personal traits, and demonstrating the trial and presenting the final verdict, right? So you can show an ambitious lawyer, maybe. You can even show how he is young and just starting out, maybe. So it's all up to you what you want to showcase in your story plot, right? So these are all some of the attributes that we can keep in our story plot. Okay, so that was the recap for the session that we did today. And then the next segment is a homework. And I urge all of my young viewers here to take the learnings from today and write your first draft of a courtroom drama story, right? So does that interest you? Give me some comments there or some emojis and let me know if that interests you. Okay, great. Yes, coming up there. Lovely. And smileys and yes. And YESSSS. Yes. Okay, great. Thanks for that. So, okay, so I know that I'm going in the right direction. So you would be writing your own story plot on this genre. Yes. So now that we have discussed all about the courtroom drama that we had as a topic for today, and you have all promised me that you're going to write your own story as well, let me give you a small little tip here, and it is that you can start with an outline of topics and identify the highlights and build your story up from there, right? Okay, so that was a small tip for all of you who are going to try to write a story of yours. And now that we are at the fag end of our session here, let me now tell you what is going to come up next. Yes, so are you all eager to know what is it that is going to come up next? Okay, so all eager emojis there, smileys and thumbs ups. Okay, so let me reveal that out to you. The next thing that we are going to come up with is a fantasy genre. Yes, so we have already done 10 episodes. This was my 11th episode today, and the next that we are going to come up with is fantasy. So for all my new viewers watching me here, let me again urge you to check out all the episodes that we have lined up for you, and it has all got some great tips and some very useful tips on how you can write stories across different genres. Yes, so do see them. And as always, thanks for being an interactive and a responsive audience, right? And I am really glad for all those comments and emojis coming up there. Yes, that really gives me a boost and it keeps me going. Yes, thanks again for all those responses there. Lovely. So until we meet next time, I am Sapna Mahadevan signing out, and keep smiling and be happy. Bye.